Hello everyone, welcome back, Severtus here, coming back with part 4 of What If Deku Was the Ghost Rider. Now, where we last left off, Izuku have gone into the entrance exam after managing finally to fix his bike and got to the entrance exam as he, start destroying robot and everything. Aizawa and All Might and a couple of other teachers there were, suspicious about Izuku. Not only that he have a fire quirk and he 15 years old, but All Might remember that he was the same kid that fighted Endeavor and Kamui Woods, Death Arms and Mount Lady and the incident with his school. And after that, Izuku managed, to get a very high score and leave the entrance exam as Endeavor meet him in front of UA telling him that if he managed to get into UA, he might be deserved to be trained under his hand, as Izuku said alright, and leave. Endeavor telling inside his mind if Shoto will not gonna accept his flames, then I shall train someone better than him to defeat All Might. And now we continue. In the morning after Izuku have waken up, Izuku got out of the room and said, "Good morning, Mom." As Inko said, "Good morning, Izuku. How are you today?" As Izuku said, "I'm okay. But I will gonna go, in the out to take my bike and, having fun." As Inko said, "Alright, Izuku, you can go." And after Izuku eat the breakfast, he got a message on his phone as he said, "Give me a minute, Mom," as he got into his room and look at this message, seeing that is a message from Cami, as the message said, "Izuku, are you there?" As Izuku answered saying, "Oh, Cami, what do you want?" As Cami said, if I didn't message you, you will never gonna call me. So, how about we get out in the today together?" As Izuku said, "Well, I was about to go, out to have some fun in the woods, but since you are here, where should I meet you?" As Cami said, "Meet me here," as she told him about the place, and Izuku said, "Alright." And after that, Izuku in his mind, Ghost Rider said, "Well, looks like you got yourself a girlfriend, huh?" As Izuku said, "Just stop, please." As Ghost Rider started laughing, saying, "Oh, kid. Alright, I will not gonna talk while you having some fun with your little girlfriend." As Izuku said, "She's not my girlfriend." As Ghost Rider said, "Yeah, maybe not now, but in the future." And after that, Izuku got out of his house and Rai, got on his bike, which is looking like this, and start go to the place that Cami told him about. And after that, Izuku meet Cami in front of her house wearing, black cloth with a black hat. As Izuku said, "Well, where do you want to go?" As Cami said, "I didn't know that you have a bike. It's looking so cool, As Izuku said, "Thank you." "Well, where do you want to go?" As she said, "How about, to go into, like, the garden, what they call it, the big gardens, where the people are get there and, play some, whatever, just go together into the gardens." As Izuku said, "Okay, come in, get on the bike." As Cami said, "Alright," and after that she got on the bike as she put her hand around Izuku, as getting closer to him. As Izuku said, "Can you put your hands away?" As Cami said, "Nah, I think I'm like this." As Izuku getting blushes as, yeah, what they call it, vengeance inside his head, trying to keep himself from laughing. But Izuku after that, he just ride his bike and go into the Guardian. Or wait a second. Izuku and Kami, after finally got into the garden, they get off the bike and they start, walking in the garden, looking left and right, seeing the people and everything. Izuku putting his hand inside, his jacket pockets. As Kami getting this chance, she got hold of his right arm and put her, holding his right arm. As Izuku said, "What are you doing?" As Kami said, "What is looking like? I'm holding your arm." As Izuku said, "Can you stop it? It's people are gonna start thinking that we are together." As Kami said, "I don't mind it really." As Izuku just getting frustrated, and inside his head, Vengeance trying to keep himself from laughing, but he can't hold it anymore. As he said, "Okay, do you really the worst about these things, right?" As Izuku inside his mind said, "Come on, shut up and try to help me here." As he, Vengeance said, "All right, I'm gonna help you." As after that, Izuku, Vengeance got hold of, control Izuku mouth as he starts speaking with Izuku sound, saying, "Hey, how about we go there? They are near the, uh, the water, the river." As Kami said, "Alright." And after that, Izuku got, you know, close to the river with Kami as he said, "Hey, look at this." As Izuku, engulf his engulf his legs with fire, and after that he start running on the water as he start like sliding on it, but he's walking on it and start doing some backflips and things like that. As Kami just clapping with her hand as she said, "You're really so good at using your quirk, huh?" As Izuku said, "Yeah." "Well, I didn't ask you, what's your quirk?" As Kami said, "Well, it's like you can say it's a kind of imagination. I can make an illusion for people. I send some gas out of my mouth that can make people illusions, create illusions." As Izuku said, "Good quirk. What kind of illusions you can make?" As Kami said, "Well, a lot. You mean, as long as I have a big imagination, I can create as many illusions that I want. But this is not important. What's your quirk?" As Izuku said, hell flames." As Kami said, "Hell flames? And you walking on water?" As Izuku said, "Yeah, it's different from Endeavor." As Kami said, "Wait, are you Endeavor's son?" As Izuku said, "No, I'm not his son. Not at all, I'm just got lucky." As Kami said, "You got the same quirk as the number 2 hero. Doesn't seem like something that will gonna just happen randomly." As Izuku said, "Yeah, I know, but let's keep this for later." And after that, Izuku and Kami just walking down the garden. And after that, Izuku said, "Do you want to eat something?" As Kami said, "Yeah, I want to." As after that, Izuku take Kami on the bike into a nearby, restaurant, or what they call it. They eating, dinner with her in the night. As Izuku just orders some things to eat. As Kami said, "It was a really nice day having with you." As Izuku said, "Yeah, I enjoyed it." As Kami said, "Are you gonna what kind of school are you going into?" As Izuku said, "Well, tomorrow will be my first day at UA." As Kami said, "So you are in UA? That's so great. I'm in the." As to be honest with you, I don't really know what's the name of Kami's school, but I don't care. As she told him about the school, as Izuku said, "Ah, great. Well, how about what's your hobbies and things like that?" As they just talking, and after they eat the food, Izuku, said, "Well, I think you need to go back to your home." As Kami said, "Ah, come on, how about we got more in the night together?" As Izuku said, "No, sorry, but I have more important things to do." As Izuku tried to stand from the table, but before that, he fall on his knees and start feeling pain in his chest as he said, my chest. As Cami said, are you okay, Izuku? As Izuku said, yeah, I'm okay. Just need water. As the, uh, you know, the butler, or what they call it, the person that taking care of the people there said, are you okay, mister? As Izuku said, yeah, I'm okay. I just need some cold water. As he got him a cold water, as Izuku start drinking it. And after he done from drinking it, he take a deep breath and breathe out as, some sort of, water has turned into gas inside his mouth. As, he start breathing whatever. As Kami said, are you okay, Izuku? As Izuku said, yeah, but I think we need to go back. And after that, Izuku take Kami on his bike as he finally got into her home. But before that happened, he goes through an alleyway to get, closer to her home. But in the middle of the alleyway, three guys come in front of him as they say, hey, kid, give me everything you got. As Izuku said, no, I don't think so. As the other one of the muggers said, look, look at this beautiful ass lady. Let's kill this kid and have some fun with her. What do you say, boss? As the boss said, yeah, let's just get rid of this kid. As Kami, holding Izuku right arm, as he said, can you leave my arm for a second? As Kami said, okay. And after that, Izuku take off his hoodie and said, look guys, I don't want to be mean, but you are an assholes and you are an idiot trying to fight me. So how about you leave before I burn your face down into crisp? As the first mugger said, oh, we have someone. The kid here think that he's tough, huh? As they start laughing, and Izuku said, yeah, continue laughing as I break your beautiful nose. As the boss said, come on guys, let's kill this kid. As one of them got a knife, turn his hand into a knife or a blade. Other one start, breathing ice out of his mouth. And the third final mugger, using, like you can say, making his head so strong to break things. He have a very strong head, and that's why they call him Hammerhead. As the first one with the blade cord go to slash Izuku, as he managed to slash his chest. As Kami said, Izuku, are you okay? As Izuku said, of course I'm okay. Why am I gonna get hurt by this? As Kami said, what? As the injury on Izuku's chest healed up, as he said, you are funeral. As he blitzed with fire at the mugger with the sword, as he got hold of his head and then slammed him into the wall, knocking him out. As the other two said, oh, he's strong, boss. As the boss said, don't worry, we can take him. As the other one tried to go at Izuku breathing ice as he freezing him. As Kami said, no! But the boss said, well, looks like he's dead. And what's your name, little lady? As they, and the Izuku right now in a ice cube, as he blow up with fire and break the ice around him. As he said, is that all what you got? How pathetic. And you calling this an ice? The ice that my mom make out of her fridge is much colder than yours. As he blitzed at the mugger and got hold of his head and then slammed him into the ground, knocking him out. As the boss said, I'm gonna take you by myself then, kid. As Izuku said, well, come at me. As the guy hardening his head and go, to throw a headbutt at Izuku, as he managed to get hold of Izuku 2 arms and then throw his head on Izuku head, which make Izuku head explode. As Kami said, no! But before that happened, the guy throw Izuku body away and said, well, let me have some fun. But Izuku regenerated his head from behind and said, you are funeral. As the guy spin around and then Izuku got hold of his head and then slammed him into the ground, starting to punch him left and right, left and right, left and right, as his eyes start glowing with more, orange and red, as he managed to break through his thick skull. And Kami from behind said, "Stop, Izuku! You need to stop!" As Izuku got, you know, get back to his senses, as he said, "Alright, let's just leave." As Kami said, "What was all this about?" As Izuku said, "Villains don't deserve to live. That's why I'm always telling to myself." As Kami said, "You didn't kill them, aren't you?" As Izuku said, "Of course not. I'm trying to become a hero." As Kami said, "Alright, and thanks for saving me." As Izuku said, "No problem." And after that, Izuku got, Kami back to her house. As before she got into the house, she said, "Thank you for the fun time." As Izuku said, "No problem." As she kissing him on his cheek, as Izuku blushes heavily, saying, "See you around." As Kami waving and said goodbye. And after that, Izuku said, in Ghost Rider in his mind said, "Well, she's a nice girl." As Izuku said, "Yeah, but I think we have much more important things to do." As Ghost Rider, laughing in his head, said, "How did you talk to her, telling her that you want to become a hero?" "Oh, kid, you're really very good at acting, aren't you?" As Izuku said, "Yeah, I'm so good." And after that, he come back to the same alleyway, as the three muggers finally got hold of themselves, as the one with an ice-breathing Quirk said, "Boss, who was that kid?" As the guy with the, thick skull said, "I don't know, but let's just leave from here. Let's just leave, and next time if we saw him, we will gonna kill him." As Izuku said, "Well, looks like you will not gonna wait for long." As the three muggers said, the one with the blade Quirk said, "It's him, boss." As the guy said, "What do you want, kid? Do you come back here to die?" As Izuku said, "No, I come back here to make sure that you are dead." As he engulfed his left arm with fire and then said, "Burn until the last part of you." As he threw a beam of fire at three of them, obliterating them, nothing even left out of them. As Ghost Rider said, "Well, I think it's time for us to ride, don't you think?" As Izuku said, smiling his mind, and said, "Yeah." And after that, he go into his bike, as he was about to get on it and transform, but Ghost Rider said, "What are you doing, kid?" As Izuku said, "What do you mean? Aren't we build it so we can, ride it?" As the Ghost Rider said, "Yeah, but we are not gonna ride it like that. The people will gonna know that this is your bike, so." As Izuku said, "What are you talking about?" As Ghost Rider said, you remember how you using your chain to engulf it with flames? Try do the same thing to the bike." As Izuku said, "Okay." And after that, Izuku covered the bike with his flames, and the bike start, to transform into this. As Izuku said, "Oh, oh yeah, that's what I'm talking about." As Ghost Rider said, "Yeah, look at it. It's looking like a real beast." As the bike starts, yeah, preparing his engines, as Izuku said, "Is he alive?" As the Ghost Rider said, "Yeah, the bike, when it's get engulfed with flames, it's will gonna become a part of you. He will gonna know when you are, where you are always. This bike will gonna know always where you are, all of the time, and you can always call it if you just, you know, did something like this to him. He will gonna come back from a very far place. Just whistle to him and he will gonna come to you." As Izuku said, "Well then, let's ride." As he transformed into the Ghost Rider. And after that, he just going left and right, killing villains and, some fake heroes, because he see those heroes that smell so, corrupted. And after that, he come back to his house and he transform himself and his bike. And the next day, he go into UA. as Izuku go to UA and try to search for class 1A as he just, moving in the school, and from his right, a kid with a blonde hair and blue eyes telling him, "So, yeah, from the look in your face, you seems that you're searching for 1A, huh? You must think that you are better than us, thinking that you are gonna become a lot better than us just because you are in the high and mighty place of 1A, aren't you?" As Izuku said, "What's your problem? What's your problem, man?" As the kid said, "My name is Monoma, and I from class 1B, and I'll make sure that all of you class 1A get back into your place, making sure that you don't think you are stronger than any other student in 1B." As Izuku gets closer into him, while, Monoma is just throwing insult at him, as Izuku put his, right arm on his shoulder and smile at him as he said, "Can you help me to find 1A?" As Monoma said, "Yeah, I will help you, but but remember that you will gonna fall." As Izuku, got hold out of his, Monoma neck and then throw him away in the, in the way that, in the way in front of him, as Monoma fall on the ground in front of the door of class 1A, as Izuku come closer to him and look down at him smiling, saying, "Thank you for helping me find my class." And after that, he kick him away and then opened the door and got in, as the first thing he see, it's Bakugo with Ida. Just Ida is scolding Bakugo for, putting his legs on the table, as Izuku said, "Great, Katsuki Bakugo, and that stupid four eyes here." As, Ghost Rider in his head said, "Can we just kill him? I really want him dead so much." As Izuku said, "Oh, I also want him dead, but we will gonna blow our cover if we just go right at him and killing him." As Ghost Rider said, "Fine, whatever." As after that, Ida seeing Izuku, he immediately rushed at him and bow in front of him, saying, "I'm sorry for everything that I do to you and for insulting you and getting your way from the entrance exam. In the entrance exam, you have proved that you are." But before he continued, Izuku just pushed him out of the way and said, "Get out of my way and never talk to me again. Understand, Four Eyes?" As Ida surprising up, what's wrong with him? As he go into the class, and Ida said, "What's wrong with him? I'm trying to be friendly." As Izuku come closer into Bakugo's desk, as Bakugo in his mind said, what does Deku want from me?" And after that, Izuku slammed his hand into Bakugo's desk and got engulfing his hand with flames and got hold of Bakugo's neck, as he said, "Well, Bakugo, look at you. You finally got into 1A, huh?" As all the other students in the class say, What's wrong? What's wrong, man? Leave him." As Izuku said, "Oh, leave him? Alright, how about I throw you out of the window, and then I will leave you." As Baku said, "What's wrong with you, Deku?" As Izuku said, "Don't call me Deku, or I'm gonna throw you out of the window, understand? I hate you so much, and I wish that I could kill you right here. But you are lucky that I still want to become hero." As Izuku threw him in the back of the class and said, "If you ever try to fight me again, Bakugo, next time I will gonna burn you alive, understand?" As his eyes start glowing with fire and a fire start, coming out of his mouth on both of sides of his mouth, as Baku said in his mind, "What's happened to him? He's getting so... God, it's my fault, isn't it? I will gonna show you, Deku." As after that, Aizawa from under the desk said, "Calm down, Midoriya, and get back to your seat. If you do this again, I will gonna expel you." As Izuku said, "Alright." As he smiled and get back to his seat, as Aizawa said, "This kid is acting weird, and he's supposed to be quirkless. I need to keep my eyes on him." As Aizawa said, Well, student, my name is Shota Aizawa, your homeroom teacher, and we were gonna do a quirk apprehension test. As after that happened, Uraka, before she didn't have the chance to talk with Izuku, as she said, but aren't we gonna introduce ourselves? As Aizawa said, yeah, this is my class and I will gonna do whatever I want. So put this uniforms on and meet me outside. As Izuku take the uniform out of Aizawa's hand and leave. In the changing room, okay, Kirishima seeing Izuku buffed, how he's buffed and have a lots of muscles, as Kirishima come to him and said, "Yo, man, what's your training? I'm sure it's so manly." As Izuku said, yeah, normally training, lifting rocks and garbage and things like that." As Kirishima said, "Yo, you are looking so good. My name is Kirishima. What's your name?" As Izuku said, "Midoriya, Izuku Midoriya. Nice to meet you, Kirishima." As Izuku, after putting his uniform on, he see in the, a kid with a, a ball, purple hair saying, "Hey guys, look what do I found. A hole into the girls' changing room." As Ida said, "Don't look through this hole, Maneda. You will gonna insult our female classmates." As, uh, you know, um, um, Maneda said, "Try to stop me." As before he could look through the hole, Izuku throwing out of his hand the chain and wrap it around Mineta as he said, "Get over here!" As he got hold of Mineta, throw his, you know, neck while the chain starts wrapping around his body as he look in his eyes and with their bloody red eyes and like a fire coming out of him as he said, "If you ever try to do this again, I'm gonna burn your face off." As Mineta seeing it, looking in his eyes and feel some, pain for all the mistakes that he did in his life, but not enough to kill him. As Mineta said, "Please, just leave me. Okay, okay, I will never do it again." As Izuku said, "Fine." As he throw him on the other side of the wall. As Kirishima said, "You gotta chill, man. You're so aggressive." As Izuku said, "What? Are you also a pervert like him?" As um, you know, Kirishima said, "Is that what I mean?" As Izuku said, "I'm just kidding with you, Kirishima, but I really don't like perverts." As Izuku looking at the hall, as from behind the hall, Jiro are listening to this, as she just listening, telling the girls what's happening there. As Izuku put his hand on the hall, and Susie, what's not Susie, the other one, Uraka said, "Hey, look," as the hole start to close up. As Jiro said, "Well, looks like that Izuku has fixed the hall." As Furubi said, "Well, he's acting, at least there's someone that not like Mineta for a bit." As Jiro said, "Yeah, he's a good man." What am I talking about? What we cut into after Izuku and everyone get out of there. Izuku just putting his hand in his pockets and just talking with vengeance aside his head as Aizawa came in front of the class and said, "Well, student, we will gonna do a quirk apprehension test, just like I said. And the first person to throw the ball will be the person that got the highest score in the entrance exam." As Izuku chuckled to himself, thinking, "Okay, entrance exams. What a stupid joke." As Aizawa looking at his phone saying, "Can I have Izuku Midoriya coming here?" As Izuku said, "Right away." As Bakugo said, "What? He got the highest score?" As Aizawa said, "Yeah, he got the highest score with a total point of 89 899 villain point and 10 hero rescue points." As everyone's surprising, Mina said, "Is he really got that much of a point?" As Aizawa said, "Yeah, he even broke All Might record." As everyone started thinking about how Izuku's strong, as Aizawa said, "Well, throw the ball with your quirk, understand?" As Izuku said, "Alright." And after that, Izuku puts his hand back and engulf his hand with flames. As Shoto is seeing this, he said in his mind, "So, this is the kid that my dad has talked told me about. He must be a, he must be a fan of Endeavor, huh? And after that, Izuku said, Izuku said, "Hell flames!" as he threw the ball into the sky, and the ball got a total, meters of infinity. As Aizawa looking at this thing, infinity, as he showed the meter into, the student. As Mina said, "Infinity? How can we beat that?" As Baku getting angry, saying, "How did he become that much strong?" As Izuku smiled at Bakugo, said, "What? Come on, Bakugo, try to do something better than this. I dare you." As he go back and stand by, Bakugo's side. As the other second person in the entrance exam was Bakugo, as he got the ball and said, "I need to do better. Come on, Bakugo, do something better than that stupid deku." As he threw the ball and got 755 meters, as he getting angry, saying, "I couldn't even compare to him. I'm gonna beat him." As after that, all the normal, things happened, like the side to side jump and the punch and everything. But Izuku in the race, they will gonna, start the countdown 3, 2, 1, but Izuku has, have start running before the last second has come. Aizawa trying to delete his quirk to make him, doesn't waste his energy. As Aizawa tried to do that, but it doesn't work. As Aizawa said in his mind, "My quirk is not working." Huh. Interesting. As Izuku finally got through the race by 1 second, as Aizawa said, "Sorry, Midori, but you have to do the race again because you have gone before 1 second left." As Izuku said, "Okay, I don't have a problem with that." As Izuku do the 15-meter dash again, but this time got it in a half a second. As everyone said, he did even better than before. As Aizawa said, interesting. And after that, the result are Izuku first place, Momo second, and the Shoto in the third place, and after that Bakugo and everyone else. As All Might watching from far away, thinking that Izuku are actually working with All for One. He saw how Aizawa wasn't able to delete his quirk, but All Might said, "This kid is so weird, but he's actually strong, and if he wasn't working for All for One, maybe I can give him my quirk so he become my successor." And after that, Bakugo tried to rush at Izuku, saying, "Deku!" But before Aizawa managed to throw his scarf and wrap it around Bakugo, Izuku turned around and said, "Blast!" as he blasted fire directly in the Bakugo face, throwing him away into a tree. As he said, "What's wrong, Bakugo? Are you too weak to fight me?" As he engulfed his hand with fire, tried to go at, Bakugo, but Aizawa wrapped his scarf around Izuku and said, "Midoriya, stop, or I will gonna expel you." As Izuku said, "Fine." And after that, Aizawa stopped and said, "Bakugo, if you ever try to attack Izuku again, you will gonna get expelled, understand?" As Bakugo said, "Whatever." And he tried to stand, but he fell on his knees as he said, "My chest." As Aizawa said, "Well, let me get you into the recovery, girl. Everyone get back to the class." And after that, the day end of the school end, as Izuku just walking out of UA, as Uraka said, "Hey, what's your name?" As Izuku said, "Izuku Midoriya, aren't you the same kid the girl that I saved from the 0-pointer?" As she said, "Yeah, it's me." As my name is Uraka. As Izuku said, "Hello, Ochako Uraka. My name is Izuku." And after that, he said, "Well, I would love to walk with you, but I need to go." As she said, "Where are you going?" As she doesn't see him, walking through the front gate of UA, but he walking into a bike. As after that, he put his, helmet on and turn on the bike. As the other student of UA, class 1A, seeing this, Mina said, "He have a bike," as Ida said, "But isn't he is too young to, you know, ride a bike?" As Izuku just leave and come back to his house and go to sleep. And this is where I'm gonna leave it off, guys. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment down below. Tell me what do you think about this part, and what do you think will gonna happen in the next part. Well, I have nothing more to say than Severed was here.